Hi everyone, it's me.
Welcome, fellas.
Yeah, we're back with a new
We're back.
podcast.
We back again to the gambling session.
Yeah. So today we have a fun little episode. I think that was Okap's idea. This topic.
Yeah, that was mine. It's a copium idea.
So yeah, what we're going to talk about today, Okap?
I mean, the title says for itself, but yeah, we are
Okay.
talking about the infamous Generation Alpha.
Generation Alpha. I mean, there's a younger generation than you.
Unfortunately.
Wow, boomer.
Oh, you're the. Oh, come on.
I had to. I had to. So yeah, we have a couple of bullet points. Let's start with
As usual.
yeah. Let's start with the first one, which is very easy to explain. What what
What's
is
Gen Alpha?
yeah?
I wonder what is Gen Alpha. I think it might be the people who are younger than me and they were
Now
born
I
since.
I have the right answer. Gen Alpha are the people that are still in the early access, and they still get updates. Not enough for beta, but yeah.
They are opt in the private channel to just get like the pre available features.
Yes.
But yeah, but yeah, Gen Alpha, welcome. Those people who are born after 2013, welcome to abroad, and yeah, that and the generation ends on 2025 4 actually. So
That
yeah, welcome abroad.
That's still very young. That means, let's see, if 2013, that means like 13 years now?
Uh, something on that. Yeah.
Yeah, almost old enough to use social media, even though I wish it would be higher. But yeah, Gen Alpha is the spiritual successor of the amazing Generation Z.
I actually choked on something on this time. Dude,
Don't
no.
don't choke on your Z, CZ.
It actually went to the wrong hole.
It's all right. You see, it takes a lot for Okap to admit he is getting older and there's a younger
I am
generation.
I am halfway through the graveyard, dude. At this point, I swear to God.
Like you're 22, right? Now.
Yeah, I'm 22. I
Wow.
am 2 legs in the graveyard.
Just 3 more years ago, and you're a spiritual, evolved human being. AKA, you got your quarter midlife crisis, as I called it.
Yeah,
All right, so yeah, Gen Alpha is, very young. We don't know much
very
about them,
questionable.
but what we know about them, we will share with you in this podcast. Um, yeah, what are they most known for? I ask you, okay, because it seems like you want to
Hmm.
talk about it.
Okay, you want me to start first? Oh God. What should I start with? All I can say, technology addicted little links. That's mostly what I can tell from at least unfortunate my personal experience. Those little fellas are so addicted to like iPads and any tablet or any streaming social like medias, like YouTube or any other platform, and they cannot get fingers of the technology if they really don't have to, and they are brats as hell, and they are annoying
Coping
and
much?
unhinged.
All right. Well, yeah, it's true. They are still young, so they grew up in an era that we call the digital era. And yeah, basically, they get handed an iPad very early on. Hence why the title is like iPad Kids. Surprised it's not called Generation iPad, but maybe because of Apple. But yeah, there are a lot more worse things than just handing them the iPad, which is already a bad thing, being glued to the screen. But it's the thing on the screen that, yeah, makes me very concerned about the future of these people.
I
Uh,
mean, okay, to break this a little bit, because yeah, we just you might say like, okay, this is just one sided. Yeah, I know that it's not only the kids' fault and the parents as well. They are faulty as well here, giving the kids an actual device. So it's not only the kid that is addicted as hell, even though yeah, they shouldn't be, but it's also parents' faults who gave them that technology early age, and yeah. So this is decided, but unfortunately, it goes bad for the kids, and then kids are getting unhinged and really unable to cope with them.
that is correct. We also have to blame the parents in this. They're just handing them a, a babysitting device. Like, here, iPads, and just raise my child.
Yeah,
What
go watch racism on the internet and just be the one like them. It ain't gonna work like that because you are
what
gonna
could
be
go
hated.
wrong?
Yeah, everything goes wrong.
So it's still early to see what's going on, but I know from a fact that there is this one channel, just one itty bitty channel that will be responsible for the most brain dead generation human has ever had. Cocomelon. So yeah, Cocomelon is like, hey, like when you're a child and when you grow up with stuff, of course things are a bit more childish, a bit more, you know, colorful. But what if
Oh my
you
god. I
you
just googled the cocomelon because I didn't remember this, and yeah,
yeah.
okay, I agree.
So Cocomelon had this great idea to like, hey, what if we just use these new children as like a weapon for like getting money? So they basically made very horrible content that you shouldn't at all costs watch as a child. But you know, they will watch it because money good. And now they can't think. Now they have to like multitask. They have to like it's literally like from one of your memes in that old video where you have Subway Server in one screen and stuff. Like they can't do one thing. They can't make a podcast. They have to open something in the background and then play a game on their phone because they're so touched in their brain at an early stage that the brain just didn't have time to develop. And now I'm afraid they're still young, but I'm very certain once they're like your age, Okap, that yeah, there will be
I don't even want to
yeah.
think about it.
But yeah, that's basically what they're known for. But we have a bigger question to ask is and that's gonna probably be a long rant for you, okay? But how did Gen Alpha got worse than Gen Z?
Okay, okay.
Before you
We
begin, I want to give
we are liking the really heavy stuff right now.
before you do your rants, I would like to give like a little prologue. So, as a millennial, I know for a fact that Gen Z already is a big downgrade for me because you guys already got touched to technology and social media, so you have this weird Gen Z slang and stuff. But at least you are not. It was how can I say this? You guys were too old to be affected for it. You just became weird. That's all. So yeah, that's why the reputation of Gen Z is really bad. That's why the question
And
is
okay,
why
we made a
worse.
really questionable stuff in our lifespan. Unfortunately, as I hate saying this, probably like this Italian brain rot that just came across around, like this stuff like tralalelo, tralala, and stuff like that. It's unfortunately still our thing, but it's at the edge and the end of like the worst peak of our generation.
So tell me, why is Gen Alpha worse in your opinion?
Like dude, like the first thing, don't know like the technology. That like the
Technology.
worst thing.
Technology.
Anyone is afraid of technology. Technology. But aside of this, unironically, the giving the kids really damn early age and a device to babysit it's wrong. No, kids also learning some patterns from older people because they are kind of forcefully want to be like, oh, look at me, I am an adult, even though I'm 12 or 13. No, it's wrong because it's like a really improper behavior for such a young age, and it just destroys the later social communication skills and stuff like that if they're trying to be quote unquote cool. Uh, they are. I'll give one of the examples I've heard recently, and I'm genuinely terrified of it. There was like someone I think in our own school that I used to attend to. That was like first grade of the primary school, and they already were like a massive piece of shit, and just being unbearable to the teachers. And they and from what I've heard, they already were able to steal 100 PLN from like a teacher.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's why I'm like so concerned. Um, Unfortunately, like another problem I have right now is like okay, and there are a lot of 13, 14, and 15 years, and they are like on the edge of the both generations, honestly. And unfortunately, most of my examples will be around this specific like gap between those two generations, where all of this was like a thing. But
That's
yeah,
fine. Go ahead.
being so cringe, thinking that, for example, like racism is fun. We know pretty much about it on VR chat, for example. Like, oh, look at me, I'm 13 or 14 year, and I'm saying the N word every second word because I'm cool. No, you ain't. Uh, so yeah, being really unhinged with amount of stuff that you're saying. Another thing that actually just I'm gonna say pisses the hell out of me is like how many of them are genuinely trying to act that they're like, look at me. I might have like uh like autism, ADHD, or some stuff like this, which
Oh God.
unironically
Yes.
unironically pisses me off because there are a lot of people I know from my own friend yard group that they are people with those specific syndromes, like spectrums, and they are normal people. They're like nothing wrong with them. But those little fellas, those little brats, they will shove it up to your face. And I unfortunately had a lot of those examples in my life. So I'm just telling from my own experience. If I said something wrong, my bad. It's my own experience. Uh, Another thing that actually I am genuinely actually surprised of is even though they have a lot of technology and stuff, they literally like uh they they don't have they have a knowledge of an early boomer most of the time. Unironically, like
Beautiful
back in my
reference.
day, back in my day, I had a basic knowledge of,
Back in my
for
day, we
example,
we know, old man.
oh, shut the. uh, but yeah, unironically, they kind of struggle with like, for example, using your PC. A phone is fine. They got used to it since they were really like since
Let me,
they
oh,
were
I
like
want to say
10,
something. I want to say
12.
something. I want to say something.
Yeah,
What's a computer?
good question.
You don't get the reference?
No,
The Apple ad? What's a computer?
no, I don't get the reference. Excuse me. I am
Disappointed. Like,
be disappointed. You know I'm against Apple.
it's one of the most hated ads of all time. What's a computer?
Good, and let it stay like that.
Continue.
uh, they have a decent knowledge about phones because yeah, they started to use it, and yeah, so they have pretty much knowledge about this. But PC, Jesus Christ, they are just evolving back, and it scares me. Unironically, since OSs right now they get way more simple, and it's still like okay. Um, what else? Mm, I mean, I said most of this stuff that I mostly have a problem with them.
All right, that's a lot. Let's see if I can just.
Although I do have one good thing I can say from my own personal life, which is my older sister. She has two kids right now, and they are like 10 and 5, I believe, or 6 or 7, even. Like I don't exactly remember. But they both. I'm so glad my sister does something called parental control and screen time
Oh yes, that's
control.
great.
This is like I am so proud of this.
If only more parents use this feature that is simple and easy to
no,
use.
because no, because those brats will brag like, "Oh, I don't have an access to the internet. You're a horrible parent and such." And they will just brag to the point that the parent has enough, and it is like, "Yeah, just let it be," which is definitely wrong.
Okay, well, it's good that your sister does that. It is
I'm so glad about
a
it.
surprise, be sure, but a welcome one.
Yes.
Anything more you want to say?
Well, I don't think so. Not
Okay.
right now.
Let me grab my book. Okay. So, Gen Alpha, as someone who is even older than you, I am
True.
afraid more. You call it like you think they're annoying and stuff. Like your generation is annoying. These are just more concerning because we have like very horrible slangs. We have
True.
extreme questionable gore related stuff that they are enjoying. There's a horror obsession with these people where you know the characters I'm referring to.
Might as well.
The like a guy with a sunflower, the and like a little clown and something, but like
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah,
extreme
I get it.
horrifying. It's like
Yeah, I know.
Five Nights at Freddy's at a steroid, and they're just getting used to it. I grew up with Kurtz, by the way. I am one of those unlucky humans on planet Earth that had a childhood with growing up with Courage the Cowardly Dog. That is
Dude,
trauma.
I was number twoing my pants every single time when I saw like a monster on this.
But what you know what happened after those episodes aired? The parents complained to Cartoon Network and they had to remove the show because it was too much for us. And that is no
Oh yeah,
longer a
no, oh,
thing.
oh yeah, you just reminded me about something as well.
Oh,
And damn cartoons. Back in my day, I remember we had a cartoon that was like Nu Pogodi, or and like translating from Russian, like Wielki Zając in Polish. There was a cartoon about literally a damn wolf who tried to eat the rabbit, smoked a cigarette, and did like public violations and stuff. And that was like a peak cartoon in my day.
oh my
We
god.
didn't have like a yeah, we didn't have like like everything was safe for work, but it was just like this example of like a guy who didn't really give a damn. And trust me, yeah, the cartoons back in our days were like, well, we just put whatever we want with the safe limits. Right now, everything is so softened to the point that if you say even a once wrong thing, you're getting cancelled. That's also what I hate about this generation.
True. I grew up with movies like The Land Before Time, The Never Ending Story, and these movies are designed to take the children, my generation and the one before me, serious, and they give you lessons, lessons that you will remember and use later on. They dealt with death, they dealt with pain, they dealt with loss. And but now, like everything is so clean and safe, and as you said, we can't hurt them, that they don't take children seriously anymore. The cartoons are just bad. The movies are just brain rot. The the games for them, they don't exist anymore. I grew up with children game. Where are they? Like, is Call of
I
Duty and
rem-
Fortnite a children game these days?
uh, I remember the times. Uh, Good old days.
Like, think of Chicken Little the movie, and then Chicken Little the game came up, for example. Do you see like a movie coming out and then having a game? No, you don't. They just play the same game. They also just, I don't know if this is also Gen Z thing, but the way that they're interacting with like games like um Roblox and stuff concerns me.
I
They,
mean,
yeah,
okay, here's a 50-50 with Roblox, okay? The game itself is actually good. The idea of the game and stuff you can make in this game is really good. I gotta tell that much. But the way people do this thing in games and the way they are exploiting sort of Roblox itself to cause harm is horrible.
I think Roblox looks horrible. It's like Lego characters, but horrible.
Well, the design is a different thing, but the idea of
Yeah.
the game itself is actually good. I'm gonna say it. I don't play Roblox myself, but the game idea itself is actually good.
Hmm.
Just the execution is horrible.
And then we go further to like here in VR chat, for example. Well, I feel bad for these children. They just, I'm glad there's no age verification, so the adults can walk away from them. But back in the day, they were all just put into a room, making everything in chaos. And yeah, I just personally, my opinion, I just think that Gen Alpha might be worse than the baby boom generation. And that says a lot because I think baby boomers are the most horrible people ever. They grew up in an era with they basically they didn't need a life experience skill like we do because they needed to rebuild the world, and they basically got free passes for everything. Everything was super cheap, work was easy to get, the car, house, no problem. So of course they look down on every generation like, oh, back in my day it's from them that we got it from. But I have to say that Gen Alpha, even right now in its current stage, surpassed them because I can't say anything good about these children because the companies are exploding them, and you can't restore that. You can't fix this with therapy. No therapy will fix childhood trauma like that constantly by movies and games and shows and social media, putting VR headsets on their face when they're like 7 or something. That is permanent brain damage, and some even eye damage apparently. And I just think we reached a point where we can't fix this anymore. This generation is lost. We have to accept that and start treating the next generation with respect. There are new laws are coming up soon where you need to
Luckily,
be a certain age, like 16 plus for social media, like locked. That would be nice that they make that worldwide. I hope they do something with VR. But yeah, I understand your pain, okay. But for me, it's more like scared than annoyed. Because, oh boy, if I have to rant about Gen Z being annoying, I can start with one word that pisses me off. I'm going to eep. I will be eeping. I swear, I swear. I feel like the most boomer ever if I hear, like a Gen Z person, just say "eep" to me. Like go sit with Gen Alpha. Just be weird. Just sit there. You belong there
Limo.
then. Yeah,
Just limo.
that will be for a different video. Oh boy. But yeah, that's all I have to put into my opinion on Gen Alpha. So now we can go to the final bullet point. Is let's compare the other generations before we conclude this. I kind of said roughly
We
something.
kind of we have a bit of a we both will have quite of a major differences between our opinions with comparing to other generations. As yeah, we both grew in a different, let's just say, things that happen to countries and people. So we both have totally different opinion on that, and I can already
True,
tell you that much.
true. I'll just continue what I was saying because I kind of started already talking about this bullet point by the last sentence. So, whoopsie. Um, I uh, I always think that baby boomers are horrible. I despise them. They treated me and the Gen X's very horrible. So I kind of just looking at my watch. Both Gen X and me are both actually looking at the watch. Like soon you will be old and weak, and then we will have our revenge. We're just playing a long game. I have nothing bad to say about Gen X because they're basically the shadow generation. No one has anything about them. They're just the other. They're not even a main generation, even though they're actually following the baby boomers. It's kind of funny, but it's either like, oh, you're the baby boomer or the millennial. I will always brag about my own generation because we have something unique that will never happen again. We grew up in an era before the internet. We,
And we were just exploring this era.
yeah, and
We were slowly accommodating to this.
but then the boom happened, but we were old enough to understand it instead of needing it for like society in school and something. We didn't care. We had a phone, we texted, and that's it. We did not care. MSN maybe, and that's it. Our priority was hanging out IRL, touching grass. Scary, I know. Not about
You.
views and likes. But starting with Gen Z, it became more a necessary thing. Online friends and attention and social media and stuff. And it changed the perspective towards people. Hence why I always look down on Gen Z because they just grew up in a way that I would never be able to understand because they grew up, they already had the internet ish around them. Social media was starting to blow up with like Facebook and Twitter and stuff. And they're just, they care more about their insecurities and they care more about being liked than just living the day, just enjoying the simple things. Of course, we have like a little bridge. Like I am one of the younger millennials, you're one of the older Gen Zs, so you and I are like mixed between. You got a bit of me, and I got a bit of you. So I had a good time with Facebook at my high school era, and
Same.
you will probably watch like TV and stuff. So
Yeah, I did.
it's like the golden era, while like the younger Gen Zs, they're just horrible. I'm sorry, I'm nothing.
True.
They're just horrible. They're like the people like Snowby's age, for example. Like that's like you can clearly tell how they behave, and it's scary. They're more like, oh, we need to be on TikTok and we need to be on Snapchat and I need to post pictures and stuff. Like we don't care. Like just enjoy living this thing that we don't like doing called Earth. So yeah, that is my point of view on all the generations. That's it.
Well, my POV will be mostly different, considering yeah, we are the post-war country. Fella, we had even more rough conditions here. Uh, boomers, like actually, I'm gonna refer to the thing you just said. So the Generation X is the one that was like clearly straight after the fuck war, and their priority was to just survive and build most of this stuff from scratch. So they didn't really give a damn about any other things. Millennials, yeah, they're after like, yeah, we are still in a really damn not really good conditions, but we are after like a post-communism stuff. But their priority was also the same, mostly the same as the previous generation here. And then the generation Z came out, and we are like, okay, but there's some other stuff you didn't pay attention to because you didn't really goddamn care in the past. For example, mental health and so being social with people, or having insecurities and having problems with yourself. And this is the major gap here, especially like the millennials, or even the generation X, and then the generation Z, because we started to kind of catch up to anything else in the world with most of this stuff. So it was like we want to pay attention more to other stuff that is actually horrible and never was even mentioned, because they didn't care, as their living conditions were only prioritized to survive, not to even care about themselves. So yeah, uh, and now the current generation here is like they're just getting spoiled, and I actually mean it. More than 60, 70 even percent of them are just damn spoiled. It's not like it's the parents' fault, because like it is, but they are just intentionally getting spoiled. Where we, as a Generation Z, were like, okay, we still have some stuff like going outside, just maybe one, two texts to like, oh yeah, get out at this hour, and we just get out. We do some IRL stuff. Sure, right now we got more into technology and stuff and such, but the current kids are just spoiled, and that is horrible. Um, because we still have some of the values from the millennials that our
Mm.
teachers, our parents actually taught us, and we are a bit of this era of getting maybe a bit spoiled with the amount of stuff we have right now. But we still have those, let's just say, standards, social standards that everyone should have, forced in by families here. And then, yeah, then new ones, they just get what they want. And they are not really taught as much. And it's like, uh, is there even a particular like a sentence I can use that will be correct to the thing I want to say?
Think, think,
You kind
think.
of know what I mean here. Like, we as a Generation Z here in Poland, we are 50-50 of the current thing what is here, with the memes and such, and the internet slang and stuff, but we still keep the old values that were in the late post communism stuff that our parents forced us to teach and to learn actually. So here's a bit different. And then, yeah, the new
Yeah,
generation,
yeah,
I'm
that
gonna say the third time,
that's indeed a
they're just
difference.
spoiled, because yeah, they just got born in the time where everything was here.
But
So yeah, that is different here, and that's how I see it
I have one
myself.
thing extra to add. Something that's negative for my generation, but I dare. Most millennials are the age of being the parent of the Gen Alpha. So I guess I have one negative of my generation. We are horrible parents. Absolutely horrible.
Kind of true.
We're like, yeah, we here, iPad and shush. Like, no. If you want children, then put the energy and time in them. So yeah, I guess that's a big drawback of our generation. I don't know why. I make a rule, and I will follow that my child will not have a smartphone until 13 years old. Period. I don't care.
For
Because
me, if so, then yeah, the screen time has to be on. No, there is no other way.
even then, I don't want them to be like, be in touch with these companies that are currently malicious, in my opinion.
Okay. I got another thing in my head. Going back to like comparing. Because I just remember something. Oh my god. That is something crucial about my generation and the next and the current one.
Go ahead.
Oh boy. I still remember the times as I was a kid, and we used to play like go to the like playground or any like behind the house. Like as I was living in a flat, like in a city, you have like a couple of flats in the same building. I still remember those times, and I remember we could just go outside, play on like a playground or anywhere else, play with the damn dirt, just get all damn dirty, just roll on the hills and do anything with the nature. And the current kids are like, ew.
Ew, oh my god, I
That's
don't
like
want to touch
another
dirt.
another softification of those kids, and it kind of annoys me because it like limits the fun you had and you could have. Like I still remember also the time where we were like exploring some forests or something, and we I don't know made races and stuff. But the current kids they don't really see much except yeah playing games on anything that is relying on electricity, or if going outside they just like yeah sit talk play music for the speaker that they play mostly horrible music knowing from the taste that I have around here, or just like yeah damn.
Yeah, I know exactly which music you refer to. It's always the same type of music.
I know, right? It's always the same. A really horrible rap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
glad
about
we under glad we understand each other in that one.
yeah, it always annoys me. Like, oh, you're playing that horrible music, and then in a speaker, I feel like a boomer. I use headphones in public
Same.
everywhere.
Same.
I even like it just pisses me off. But they're just putting it on speaker, including calling on speaker.
Oh, that is that. No, that's also Boomer's fault.
I
Okay,
know.
they
I'm
also
just
do it.
referring. That's annoying. Like I like just headphones, just quiet, no social people, and especially not people looking at me like, "Why are you doing that?" But I was gonna say again about the dirty stuff. Yeah, I came from a generation that was praised upon to go outside, become dirty, go in the forest, build stuff,
Dude,
camp, blah blah
I
blah.
went back with 4 injuries on my legs, and I was completely happy about it.
This is fine.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so fun.
There used to be a day, one single day a year in Belgium and Netherlands. I call this hell, which is to encourage young people, my generation, to go outside. They would shut down the television for one day. It's always on a Wednesday, and my parents were divorced, so Wednesday was usually I am with my dad. My dad is boring, so I just had my DS, the TV, and my toys. So when the TV is on, like, I guess DS it is.
Hmm.
Like, that was horrible. Like,
uh,
but now if they do that, like, oh hey, we'll shut down YouTube for one day to go outside, the world ends.
True.
I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to say.
I also don't have anything else to add.
Okay, so here is the moral of the story. Parents,
Raise your kids properly, please.
yeah,
Use that. Use this screen time. It's so valuable.
use the
You don't know
screen
how much power
time.
it has.
Use the screen time. Don't put children in VR chat. Um, stop.
Until they are at least 14 or 13 due to the TOS, but 14 and 15 to grow this little brain a bit.
Yeah. Also, stop letting your children watch cute animation that looks like children TV, but it's actually malicious. Just keep an eye on it. Watch what they're watching, and you will realize that hey, this is not teaching my child stuff. This is just rotting their brain, like literally. Um, just make sure they don't treat TikTok the way Gen Z does, because yeah, they already ruined the app. I want TikTok to be banned. It's for the better with all these challenges, for example.
Yeah, I don't
And
even want to talk about it. It's like one of the worst is the era of TikTok.
the worst era of TikTok, you mean the whole era?
The whole era of challenges, which a couple of them were
The
actually
worst.
deadly.
Like the challenge that makes me mad is
Blue whale.
the ALS bucket challenge.
Oh yeah.
You
Hot
are
water challenge, blue whale
no,
challenge.
no, no, let me explain.
Challenge actually blue whale.
You were supposed to throw a bucket of ice cold water on your head and give $100 to charity for ASL or ALS. And instead of treating this disorder and this charity movement seriously, they're like, "Oh, look, he's throwing cold water on head. I challenge you to do this." Like, you're just making a joke out of this entire charity thing. Like, this hurt my soul because of a stupid challenge. Okay, that's all. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Time
But
to end this yambling session again.
yeah, thank you guys for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed. If there are parents in this podcast, you know what to do. For the new generation beta, I'm sorry for your loss due to
We are
everything.
doomed already.
Yeah, we're doomed already, so it's already useless. Um, yep, that's it. Enjoy your summer and have a good one. I'm Lemon
Yep.
Cupcake.
And Okap here.
No, you're CZ.
God damn it.
Have a good one.
Yeah, see y'all.
Bye bye.